Would you please do call? Would you please take a roll call?
Yes, I will go in and I will do that. All right, so start with Grant Anderson.
Here.
Thank you. Charles Andrews. Charles Andrews.
Here.
Okay, thank you, Charles. Bryce Christo.
Here.
Thank you, Bryce. Jerry Cooper. Jerry Cooper. Okay, come back. Nathan Domi. I apologize for mispronouncing your name.
Nathan's with the City of Scottsdale. This is his first meeting. This is David Smith. I'll be Scottsdale's representative one last time. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, David. All right, David Fabiano.
Can't find the mute button. I'm here.
Oh, is that David? Was that a yes?
Don't disagree.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, David. Angela Horn. Angela Horn. Come back, Jennifer Jack.
Here.
Thank you, Jennifer. Kevin Murphy.
I'm here for, if Kevin Murphy is not here, this is Sunil Garg from City of Avondale.
All right, thank you, Sunil.
I don't see Kevin right now, but.
I just joined.
Oh, there we go. I see him.
Kevin's here. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Kevin. All right, Kevin Lair.
Yes. Oh, Kevin Murphy.
Oh, okay. All right, Kevin Murphy. Okay, we got you. Kevin Lair. Kevin, okay, come back. Arian LaRange. Arian, okay, come back. Paul Lopez. Okay, Paul Lopez. Come back. Rodolfo Lopez.
I'm here, present.
All right, thank you. Jamie McCracken. Jamie McCracken. Okay. Brad Novacek.
Present.
Thank you. Steve O'Brien.
Here.
Thank you. Tim Oliver.
This is Gregory McDowell for Tim Oliver.
All right, thank you, Greg.
Thank you.
Dana Wasani.
Dana's here, thanks.
All right, thank you, Dana. Herman Pedrahita.
Here.
Thank you, Ron. Matt Rieg.
Here.
Thank you, Matt. Patrick Sage.
Here.
Thank you, Patrick. Chris Salas.
Present.
Thank you, Chris. Emil Schmid. Emil Schmid.
I'm here.
Okay, thank you, Emil. Woody Scouten. Woody Scouten. Okay. Leticia Vargas.
Here.
Thank you, Leticia. Chris Wanamaker.
Here.
Thank you, Chris. And Maria Angelica Deep.
Here.
Okay. Was there anyone else that is present who I did not call your name? Right. I think that is everyone, and Madam Chair, we do have a quorum.
Thank you. As we have a quorum, so this MAG Street Committee is called to order. As a reminder, please mute your microphone to eliminate any feedback. You will have the opportunity to raise your hand and you will be recognized at the time which you can unmute your microphone to talk. When you begin talking, please state your name and your organization. We operate our committee meetings in full transparency, giving the opportunity to the public to access our committee meetings, materials, and discussion. As the public cannot view the chat comments, we are disabling the chat feature in all committee meetings moving forward. If you need any technical assistance during the meeting, please contact the helpline, and we have given that number to you, which is 602-452-5095. Again, that's 602-452-5095, or contact a MAG staff assigned to the meeting. We appreciate your understanding in helping to maintain transparency in all discussions and for the benefit of the public. Let's go now to item number 2, which is call to the audience. Members of the public were asked to submit written comments related to this meeting through the MAG website. Comments may be sent at any time leading up to the meeting, but must be received at least 1 hour prior to the posted start time of the meeting. This is the opportunity for the public to comment on items that fall under MAG's jurisdiction that are not on the agenda, or that are on the agenda for discussion but not for action. MAG staff, Samantha, have you received any public comments?
We have not received any public comments, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Samantha. Let's go to item number 3, Transportation Staff Report. MAG staff member Patrick Stone will now provide updates and a report to the committee. Patrick?
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the committee. Pleasure to present the Transportation Staff Report. For those who may or may not be aware, Kristen Myers, who previously did this, left MAG. Her last day was April 30th. Opportunities in Indiana, so wish her the best, but hopefully I can fill those shoes. Before we get started, obviously there's a couple of data points on the screen. I did want to extend a welcome to the new members of the street committee. Kevin Murphy, City of Avondale, taking over for David Janover. Woody Scouten with the City of Litchfield Park, taking over for Brandon Squire. Rodolfo Lopez with the City of Maricopa. Chris Wanamaker, Pinal County, who replaced Scott Bender. And then Nathan Dom, I hope Nathan, or correct us if we get that name incorrect. Domi, I apologize. But welcome, please, to the street committee. Additionally, I wanted to thank members of the committee and their staff for submitting the workbooks that we do twice a year. Invaluable tools to MAG staff for tracking the progress of projects. Those are moving through the committee process right now. Hope management committee tomorrow, hopefully regional council approval later this month. So very excited about that. Also, another thank you for submitting the requests we sent out to staff for changes associated with projects in the region as we get ready to prepare the next tip, which will be hopefully going out for approval in December. That's another critical piece of that puzzle. Another update, last month through the committee cycle, we took the request for the CRISA funding that's specifically suballocated to the MAG region, just over $25 million. Regional Council took action on that this previous April, 2 weeks ago, and approved using that $25 million to bolster our closeout funding for fiscal years 22 and 23. So stay tuned on that as we go to do closeout next fiscal year. You'll see that amounts and that information being provided. And then I'm actually going to switch up my remarks real quick because we got notification earlier this morning. Street sweepers, the fiscal year 2021 street sweepers, those agencies who had put in for street sweepers, the memorandum of understanding between MAG and ADOT was signed about a week and a half ago. And the transfers that MAG works with ADOT to get completed to fund those sweepers has also been completed. So you should be getting information from Dean Giles and our air quality staff very shortly about the procurement of the sweepers for fiscal year 2021. And then finally, end on a very exciting positive note, obviously, as you can see on your screen, these are the HERF numbers for April 2020. As you can see, it's up 33% over a year ago. Obviously, that was the beginning of the pandemic, but still strong numbers. And then the other one, which unfortunately we didn't get a chance to update the slide because we got the information this morning. We did actually get the RARF numbers for April. They were up 31% over the previous April. And one thing to pay attention, strong numbers, strong growth. They're actually significantly higher over ADOT's estimates as well, which just means the revenue picture is still looking fairly strong for the region. And with that, Madam Chair, that concludes my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Patrick. Let's proceed if nobody has any questions to item number 4, that is approval of consent agenda. Please take a few minutes to review the March 9th meeting minutes if you have not already. Does any committee member have any revisions? As I hear none, could I have a motion to recommend approval of the meeting minutes for March 9th, 2021?
Madam Chair, David Fabiano, Town of Gilbert, so moved.
Thank you, David. Do I have a second?
Anderson, Youngtown, second.
Thank you. When Samantha calls your name, please indicate yes or nay on this motion. Samantha?
Thank you, Madam Chair. All right. Grant Anderson.
Aye.
Thank you. Charles Andrews.
Aye.
Thank you. Bryce Christo.
Aye.
David Smith.
Aye.
Thank you. David Fabiano.
Aye.
Thank you. Jennifer Jack.
Aye.
Thank you. Kevin Murphy.
Aye.
All right. Rodolfo Lopez.
Aye.
Thank you. Brad Novacek.
Sorry, aye.
Thank you, Brad. Steve O'Brien.
Aye.
Thank you, Steve. Greg McDowell.
Aye.
Thank you, Greg. Dana Owasani.
Aye.
Thank you, Dana. Herman Pedrahita.
Aye.
Thank you. Matt Reeg.
Aye.
Thank you, Matt. Patrick Sage.
Aye.
Thank you. Chris Salas.
Aye.
Thank you, Chris. Emil Schmid.
Aye.
Thank you. Leticia Vargas.
Aye.
Thank you, Leticia. Chris Wanamaker.
Aye.
Thank you. And Maria Angelica Deep.
Aye.
Thank you.
With a motion and a second, and with the members polled on the phone, the motion passes. Thank you very much. Items proposed to be heard. Item number 5. Mr. John Kraft from Pinal County will now present the Marsh Road revised scope. John, please take it away.
Good morning, everybody. This is John Kraft with Pinal County. I'd like to do the presentation on the Marsh Road scope revision. Next slide, please. Essentially, Pinal County requested to rescope this project to save some money which would be allotted to other projects. And essentially, we're looking at the original scope of work was 2.7 miles, and we're looking at chopping that back to 1 mile, which would be from it would be Marsh Road from Midway Road to Indian Valley Road. That's the 1 mile length. And if approved, the proposed tip change would save the county about $1 million for cost share. So and essentially we're going from 2.75 miles to 1 mile. And can we have the next slide, please. Here's the aerial photo. You may be able to see Marsh Road from Midway down here on the lower center of the screen. So Midway to Indian Valley is about 1 mile to the west of Midway Road. And originally, we're going to take Marsh all the way from Midway to Russell, and then Russell Road itself, we were going to do from Marsh up to Erica. And that would have been the original 2.75 miles. But now we're asking to go only the 1 mile from Midway to Indian Valley. Next slide, please. Here's the tip change request form. And on the top is what we originally had, $559,000 for design. And there was 2 line items, 1.9 million for construction and another 1.9 million for construction. And down below, you can see we requested the 1.9 millions be redlined out. And then the new construction amount would be about $1 million, $1,093,107, and $1,652,127. So that'll also save federal funds in the amount of 1.8 million. I don't know if you can see that blue number down there, but it's at the bottom. Next slide, please. So our request is to revise the project in accordance with the enclosed tip amendment. Thank you very much.
Thank you, John. Does anybody have any questions? Hearing none, could I have a motion to recommend the project?
Mr. Chairman, I do have a question.
Grant.
Why are you reducing the scope? I didn't quite hear that.
Oh, yes. The reason, Grant, is that my supervisors asked us to make that request so they can use the money for other projects. $1 million.
That's great, but what about the traffic? Is the area doesn't need the road improvements due to development or traffic?
Oh, yes. The traffic, we intend to use in-house county forces to do double chip seal on the dirt road a little later on within the next few years. So we'll still accomplish what we want to do is keep the dust down, but spread out the timing of the project. And a double chip seal is a lot less money required from our in-house forces. So that's the
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any additional questions for John? Thank you. Can I have a motion to recommend the project? Do I have a motion?
Madam Chair, this is Paul Lopez with the City of Buckeye. I move for approval.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
This is Brad Novacek with the Town of Queen Creek. I second.
Thank you, Brad. When Samantha calls your name, please indicate yay or nay. Samantha?
Thank you, Madam Chair. All right, Grant Anderson.
Aye.
Thank you. Charles Andrews.
Aye.
Thank you. Bryce Christo.
Aye.
Thank you. David Smith.
Aye.
Thank you. David Fabiano.
Aye.
Thank you. Jennifer Jack.
Aye.
Thank you. Kevin Murphy.
Aye.
Thank you. Paul Lopez.
Aye.
Thank you. Rodolfo Lopez.
Aye.
Thank you. Brad Novacek.
Aye.
Thank you. Steve O'Brien.
Aye.
Thank you. Greg McDowell.
Aye.
Thank you. Dana Owasani.
Aye.
Thank you. Herman Pedrojita.
Aye.
Thank you. Matt Reed.
Aye.
Thank you. Patrick Sage.
Aye.
Thank you. Chris Salas.
Aye.
Thank you. Emil Schmidt.
Aye.
Thank you. Leticia Vargas.
Aye.
Thank you. Chris Wanamaker
Aye.
and Maria Angelica Deeb.
Aye.
Thank you. Did I miss anyone?
Thank you, Samantha. With a motion and a second and the results of the members polled, the motion passes. Thank you. Let's go to item number 6. That is the update of regional traffic trends in the last 6 months. 1 year after the expiration of Governor Ducey's stay-at-home executive order, traffic in the MAG region has gradually returned to a new normal. MAG staff will provide an update on the latest traffic and travel trends of the region, primarily the traffic volume and vehicle miles traveled, congestion, and truck travel. Mr. Wang Sang will now present the update of the regional traffic trends for the last 6 months. Mr. Sang, take it away.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair and the street committee members. So I have a short presentation to provide you with an update on the regional traffic trends since COVID, particularly in the last 6 months. Next slide, please. First, let's take a look at the traffic volume. So we have data gathered from ADAS permanent counters, primarily from regional freeway systems. And we always have, the pre-COVID condition before the March of 2020 as a 100% or normal condition. And then you can see on this graphic that's very much to the left. So we start from 100%. And then we have about 45 days of the stay-at-home executive order in last year, 2020, just about a year ago. And that's where we see tremendous drop of the traffic volume on the road. And the lowest point that we see is at 61%. So that is in the middle of April of 2020. And after the expiration of the executive order, traffic started to climb up. Going to the very early of June of 2020, before the summer, traffic has resumed back to roughly 80 to 85%. And then typically in our region, we have an off-peak season in the summer. That's why you see the dip of the traffic volume again in the summer of 2020. And after summer of 2020 into the fall, we again observe the traffic start to climb up again. And by the end of the year of 2020, if we do not consider the impact brought by the holiday season, typically people travel less in the holiday season. By the end of 2020, our traffic volume has returned back to above 90%. And since the new year of 2021, traffic volume continues to go up. We have observed the traffic volume-wise return back to 100% pre-COVID condition, exactly the same level of traffic volumes on the street beginning at March of 2021. So that is the situation we observed the last 2 months. We have had the traffic return back to normal since March of 2021. So this graphic gives you kind of a trend line of the traffic volume from last March of 2020, all the way to the end of April of this year of 2021. Next slide, please. And then the next slide shows you a little bit different situation for truck travel. So we also monitor utilizing the same data source, monitoring the traffic of the heavy truck and the medium truck travel. So a little bit different to the traffic volume story I just talked about. Heavy truck particularly hasn't really been impacted a lot by the COVID. As a matter of fact, we've noticed that both heavy truck and medium truck has significantly increased in terms of the travel in our region. And as you can see, we're now entering a kind of new normal for truck travel. For example, the heavy truck travel in last 6 months, as we observed, is about 20 to 25% higher than the condition that we know before COVID. And the medium truck travel also increased. For the last couple of months, the medium truck travel is also at about 15 to 20% higher than the normal condition of pre-COVID condition. And we speculate a couple of reasons behind that. Obviously, our grocery needs has never been stopped, and the people intend to do more online shopping activities that needs to, truck to deliver those goods to your doors. And also, we've noticed that the construction activities in our valley for the last 12 to 18 months has also been very busy. So those all contribute to the higher level of truck travel in our region. Next slide. Let's take a look at the speed. So this graphic shows you the average speed on freeway system as well as on our arterial system on a weekday basis per month. So the orange bar always shows the monthly average speed in the year of 2020. The blue bar shows the similar information for the months in 2019, just for comparison purpose. And the green bars shows average speed for the year of 2021 until the March. As you can see, in the last year, the speed traveled on our roadway system has been observed to be noticeably higher than 2019. And at the beginning and starting from the end of the 2020 all the way going to the March of 2021, we also noticed the congestion gradually come back, and our average speed observed on the network has been gradually going down. Next slide, please. So if we convert the speed data into traffic congestion delay, which would compare your average speed to the free flow speed, we're able to estimate the whole system's congestion in vehicle hours on daily basis. Again, we use a pre-COVID condition, the first week of March 2020, as 100% as a normal condition, which is on the very left side of the graphic. And this one shows you, how the traffic has reduced by the time we have observed the lower volume. And when the volume start to kick up again, and we also see the traffic congestion start to increase, but at a much slower pace. So even for the last couple of months, where we have observed 100% of the volume condition on our street system, we've only observed about the 50 to 60% recovery of the traffic congestion. So in nowadays, our traffic congestion in vehicle hours has been noticeably lower than the pre-COVID condition. Next slide, please. And this is a similar information, but we've broken down the congestion hours by AM and PM. Hopefully that will give you a little bit more insight of why the traffic congestion was much lower than pre-COVID condition. So the blue line shows the trend of the AM's congestion, and the green line shows congestion during PM. As you can see, we have observed much lower congestion during the AM in the morning peak. But when we look at the PM peak congestion, it's to the largest degree has returned. So that kind of explains why on daily basis our congestion is lower. That is mainly due to the much lower decrease of the congestion during the AM travel. Next slide. Okay. Last couple of slides. This one to give you some impression of the active transportation travel, or non-motorized travel, or multimodal travel, whatever you prefer to call, which describes the activity of the bike trip, running trip, walking trip, hiking trip. So we utilize the Strava as an app, as a data to monitor the activity in our region. And on these two graphics, the first one shows bikes trend, as the second one shows all the running, walking, hiking trips trend for 3 years. The red line is 2019 normal, and the blue line is 2020, and the green line is 2021. So if you focus in the spring season, which is this number is displayed by number of weeks. So we have 52 weeks as shown in the x-axis. So during the spring of these 3 years, I think that's where you want to look at that. Is for example, 2020 we were at the lockdown, and lots of the automobile travel was restricted. But we also see the huge hike of the bike trip and the running trip happening at the same time, as shown on the blue line. And it just maintained at a much higher level throughout the remaining year of 2020. And the momentum continues into the 2021. So our blue line shows there's also much higher active transportation activities captured within our region. However, into the spring of 2021, it's slightly lower than what we have observed in 2020. Next slide, please. Okay, so all the information I just broke down with you is accessible through our webpage maintained by MAG. It's really easy to go to there. First method is just to go to Google and you type in MAG COVID traffic, and that should be popping up as the first or second links. And I'm also providing the direct link to you on the screen. So we have shifted from weekly update to monthly update because pretty much every matrices start to get stabilized. And so we will try to do the update once a week at the beginning of each month to give you the latest update of previous months. Next slide, please. Okay, so just to recap to a few bullet points here. So first of all, we have observed traffic volume return back to 100% of the pre-COVID condition. And we did not know exactly what's going on with our arterial street because of the lack of the data. So we know freeway traffic definitely returned back to 100%. And our guesstimation is that arterial traffic is also on the way up, but with a slightly slower space. With arterial traffic volumes. And truck volumes has been noticeably higher, about 20% higher than previous pre-COVID conditions. Traffic congestion still hasn't fully returned back to normal, and we don't know whether it will eventually return back to normal. As we know, a big chunk of the commute trips has significantly changed the way they travel. Lots of people stay at home. Even though we foresee a certain portion of the workforce will return back to office in next 6 months or longer, but we also expect a certain portion of the commute trips will be totally disappeared. That actually contribute to the lower traffic congestion during the AM peak. Non-motorist travel has always been higher since COVID, and we expect to see this trend to maintain. Just want to bring that to your attention. So all those kind of points summarize to be a new, normal conditions in our region as far as we go. But since still getting settled down, it's not fully settled yet, and there could be some other, activities get further developed. We're maintaining a very close observation to everything we try to get. So like I already mentioned, the commute pattern change could be, could bring some permanent impact to the traffic in terms of how people travel to the office, impact people where they want to choose a house to live, stuff like that. So that will have some long-term impact to the traffic. That is yet to see. Next slide. So that's end of my presentation. Be happy to take any comments or questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you. As this item was for information and discussion, does anybody have any questions?
Anderson, Youngtown, question.
Please, Grant, go ahead.
Thank you. Looking at the reduced congestion, even though not as much in the PM, it certainly You wonder if the projects such as the Broadway curve are still necessary as we have determined in the past. What is more important is where is the congestion? Is it truly where we had thought about it 2 years ago as a new normal? So I wonder if this might change some of the projects that we had on the books with new information about traffic flow.
Okay, let me try to take this question first. Thank you, Mr. Grant Anderson, for the question. And I think Mr. Patrick Stone, feel free to jump in whenever you want to add to what I'm going to say. So what we understand is the traffic condition continues to develop. We have not fully reached to the new normal yet. And since has always been changing, every month you look at that, there's going to be a little bit different information that is new to us. We did observe there's going to be the new bottlenecks in the last year, not necessarily caused by the COVID, but caused by, for example, the opening of South Mountains. We did see some of the very severe congested corridor has reduced in terms of the congestion hours. That is more relevant to COVID or post-COVID effects, but they have not fully settled yet. I think that's going to take a little while to settle, and we need to be patient, and we need to see how people react to the situation, how the other factors affect their decision of travel.
So you are keeping track of what location is primary for the congestion also. That would be real nice to get some sort of graphic on that too.
Thank you very much. Yes, that's a very good comment. And we are keeping track of that as a part of our internal work. And I'd like to come back, if possible, in the fall, hopefully, to give you some idea of what's going on in that regard.
Thank you. I think that's a great comment, but we always have to remember that we have to not only look at congestion, but also crashes and safety to determine if a project should move forward and is of regional significance to do. Additional questions or comments?
Yeah, I have a question. One question and one comment. My first question is, where on the freeway system are we getting this data from? Is it in the inner city area, like downtown, or is it also the Loop 101, Loop 202s, sort of the outskirts too, that we're capturing this data? And then my comment is, just based on the information that you presented today, I think we need to be careful about saying our traffic is 100% back to normal. I think our average daily traffic volumes are somehow back to where they were pre-COVID. However, it looks like the traffic patterns have changed. I mean, that's, in my mind, when we don't see as much congestion as we did prior to the COVID times, then that means, I know the average daily traffic is coming back, saying that we're back to that volume, but the traffic patterns have shifted. And I think the real question is, after this COVID thing is over, are the traffic patterns going to shift back to what they were, and our congestion is going to rise back again to where it was pre-COVID, or are these traffic patterns going to continue, and we are going to see a shift to these patterns for a longer period of time?
Thank you very much.
Just my thoughts.
Thank you very much for the question and the comments. First, to answer your question, the traffic volume data was connected primarily from the freeway system on the outer space of our region, so not necessarily from the inner city, like you referred to. However, the congestion as we understand, even though there's a certain portion of the congestion observed by us, it's primarily generated from the inner freeway systems. And I totally agree with you. We cannot call traffic has returned back to 100%. That's why we refer to traffic volume has returned to 100%. But traffic volume is not necessarily the only thing when we mention traffic. So I think that's where we need to introduce a new concept, new normal. I personally feel like there are two layers of meanings in the new normal. First is the new normal has observed the traffic volume being back to 100% and the traffic congestion has not. That's the first meaning, in my opinion. Second meaning is things continues to evolve and we still don't know how long does it take and where they're gonna settle. And we just have to do our due diligence to continue to monitor that through different data source or through any way possibly we can to monitor how people's travel patterns and behavior change due to the other factors that we all know.
It's fascinating data, and I appreciate you sharing this. We will see, I guess.
Yeah, we'll see. Thank you very much.
Thank you. With no other questions, let's proceed to item number 7. That is the request for future agenda items. Are any requests by the street committee members for any future agenda items? If you don't have an answer now, please reach out to me or the MAC staff. Let's proceed to item number 8, that is updates from member agencies. I would like to invite all members to share information related to ongoing street projects in their jurisdiction. Each jurisdiction will be called upon by Samantha. Samantha?
Thank you, Madam Chair. All right, so I'm just going to run through the member agencies. And you can let us know if you have anything. So we'll start with ADOT.
The only thing to maybe update everybody about is that we are in the process of our tentative 5-year plan improvement. There'll be a working session. It'll be held with the State Transportation Board sometime, I think, early June. I believe there are public meetings that are ongoing with regards to the tentative plan. So those that had an interest may want to check out to see if they can attend one of those or tune into the State Transportation Board meeting in June when the 5-year tentative plan should be approved.
All right, thank you. Right. Go on, Apache Junction.
We have some long-term, well, I wouldn't say long-term, some immediate planning in terms of arterial roads being built out in conjunction with the state land auction that we had recently. This is down just east of Meridian Drive, Warner, Elliott, Ray road alignments in that area. So working with the developer on some alignments for that. So I assume over the next couple of years, that'll probably be built out.
All right, thank you. All right, Avondale.
Nope, nothing here unless Neil has something.
All right, Buckeye.
Yeah, Samantha, this is Paul Lopez, Deputy City Engineer for City of Buckeye. ADOT is currently just got done opening bids for the I-10 improvements from Verado Way out to SR 85. I believe they anticipate starting that project toward the end of the second quarter of this year. And so that will have some major impacts on folks traveling to Los Angeles or California on the weekends. They'll probably be reducing that freeway down to 1 travel lane each direction from the 2 that it currently is today. In addition to those, that reach of improvements on the freeway, we will also be improving the Miller Road as well as Watson Road traffic interchanges to the diverging diamond interchanges. And so that'll be a pretty massive project. And I think the anticipated schedule on that's about 2 years. So that's getting ready to start here shortly.
All right, thank you. All right, I don't believe we had anyone from Chandler. Nope. All right, so we'll go to El Mirage.
Nothing for El Mirage.
All right, thank you. All right, Florence.
Nothing from the town.
All right, thank you, Chris. Gilbert.
Good afternoon. Thank you, David Fabiano, Town Engineer for the Town of Gilbert. The Town Council is considering referring a general obligation question to the voters of the Town of Gilbert. Right now, the dollar amount that's being suggested is $515 million. They're holding public meetings over this month, looking to refer something in June for election this November. Thank you.
Thank you, David. All right. How about Glendale? Any updates?
No updates. Thank you.
Thank you. Goodyear.
No updates from Goodyear.
All right. Thank you. Gila River Indian Community.
No updates at this time.
All right. Thank you, Greg. Don't believe we had anyone from Litchfield Park. All right. The City of Maricopa.
No updates.
Thank you. No one here from McDOT. City of Mesa.
Yes, thank you. I have several updates. One of them is the project on Mesa Drive was completed, so we have improved Mesa Drive from US 60 all the way to Maine. Southern and Stapley, for those that drive that intersection, the update is utility relocations was completed. We're working right now with SRP to underground the 12 kV lines that are there. And we are underway with the intersection improvements and safety, and it should be completed in 2022. Signal Butte, that is an ALCP project that has federal funding, has been sent the 100% plans and the request for obligation to ADOT early this week, on Monday, I believe. And we are trying for it to be completed concurrently with the opening of SR 24. If we don't open at the same time that SR 24 opens, maybe we'll be 2 to 6 months delay, but no more than that. The only additional update I have is to invite all city, towns, and COGs to the open house for the Roads and Street. The date is October 8 in Tucson in El Conquistador. I am organizing that open house, and I invite all of you if you have further questions. I know that several emails have gone out. We would love to know that you are interested. Sometime in August, just let me know. That's all. Thank you, Samantha.
Thank you. All right, go on next, Paradise Valley. All right, Peoria.
No updates at this time. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Phoenix.
Thank you. The City of Phoenix is quickly installing ceremonial signs along Baseline Road to honor Cesar Chavez. The signs, ceremonial signs, say Cesar Chavez Boulevard, and they will be on Baseline Road between 75th Avenue and 48th Street. So we're excited about that. They're quickly going up as we speak. And then for those of you that don't know, our 3rd and 5th Avenue project recently completed. We're about 98% complete. 3rd and 5th Avenue from Washington Street to roughly McDowell Road. We did a pretty enhanced bicycle and pedestrian corridors along both of those corridors. Some of the other features include going from one way to 2 ways on 3rd and 5th Avenue from, I believe it's Washington to Roosevelt. So they are now both 2-way streets. And I think there's one last component, and I apologize. We are adding a cycle track on 3rd Avenue from Roosevelt to McDowell, and I think that's the last piece that we need to complete. But it's definitely an exciting project for us, and wanted to share that with you. That's all I have.
Thank you. All right, Pinal County, any updates?
I don't have any updates right now. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Queen Creek,
No updates right now.
thank you. Scottsdale,
No current updates. Thank you.
all right. Salt River Pima Maricopa Indian Community,
Yes, just wanted to update quickly on our Pima Road project, which is a ALCP project that is joint with City of Scottsdale. 60% plans have been completed and review comments received. We are going out for public comment this month and look forward to the next submittal, I think is in August, the 90%. That's all I have.
okay, thank you. All right, Surprise,
Nothing to report today, thanks.
great, thank you. Tempe,
A couple of updates. Everyone may already know, but the streetcar track facilities are all complete, and I believe that they are still testing the vehicle on the light rail track. So sometime this fall, we'll start seeing them in our streets. It's really exciting. And then we've seen the bike increase around the city, a lot more bikes using the bike lanes and getting in my way when I'm biking. But good times. That's all. Thanks.
all right, thank you. And let's see, then Tolleson. All right, and finally Youngtown.
Yes, Grant Anderson, town engineer. The town is looking at finding a way to connect West Peoria Avenue to Olive Avenue. The current condition is wandering the road through a subdivision. So they're looking at various alternatives to provide for a better access for the public with potential some additional development to the north of Peoria Avenue. So that alternative is needed. That's it.
All right, thank you. And that is everyone, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much, Samantha, and thank you all that provided updates. Item number 9. Just to let you know, the next street meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, June 8th. It will be virtual unless otherwise notified. Could I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Anderson, Youngtown, I shall move.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second, David Fabiano, Town of Gilbert.
Thank you. And we do not have to do the roll call for this. I thank you all for participating and see you next time.
Thank you.
Bye.